Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Amari back again with another video on the Pilot Amari channel. Today, episode 5, and I know it's been a while since we've dropped a video on the channel. I actually went flying today. It's August 9th. Went flying today. Was supposed to go at 10 a.m. But we ended up pushing it back to 4 p.m. due to the weather. Out here in Georgia, summertime. But the weather in the morning, we had some low-level clouds around 2,000. So instructor was like, do you want to push it back? Do you want to delay? So I was like, yeah, sure, fine, whatever. I'm not really doing nothing. The weather was cleared up, when I got there later. Still some clouds around 4,000, but we were able to get out of there. And it's been a while since I've been flying. He told me today it's literally, when he endorsed the logbook, he said, last time we went was probably the 16th of last month, or I don't know whatever episode it was on the channel, but it has been a while. But when I was up there, it didn't feel like I had really lost. I remember last time I was talking about like the mental lapses and getting into the repetition with some things, needing more of that consistency, but it honestly didn't feel. I think today went pretty well. We're getting more into some of the, I don't want to call them more complex maneuvers, but power on, power off stalls, slow flight, continuing to do climbs and turns, doing that kind of stuff in slow flight. Which, honestly, I think it's probably the hardest, is doing that slow flight for me, just kind of keeping that airspeed. That reverse range of controls where you're pitching for the airspeed and, your powers, your altitude. I think it was fine, but, just continuing to get better at it. There's still plenty of work to do. Like I said, we did the power on, power off stalls. I think those went pretty well today. I had to have my instructor demonstrate it to me because, sometimes he's telling me, okay, do X procedure. And do this procedure, but things are going on so fast. He's telling me to do it, talking through the different steps, but just doing the power on, power off stalls. Not just the reverse range of control, but using that rudder to kind of keep center. We kind of talked about how when you're in that configuration, that slow flight, if you got that high angle of attack, then he's saying that those ailerons really aren't going to do anything for you. So I'm just sort of getting used to that. I think is going to be just stuff to continue to work on. We did some landings. I still need to get better at that. I think just it's that final last 200, 300 feet. Just when do I take the power out? When do I start that flare? I think I just need to continue to work on that. So we were talking about maybe one day dedicating, a full lesson to just doing the landing. So, I would be down for that. But yeah, I had fun today. Weather was, like I said, weather had cleared up. Not too much traffic out there. We went out pretty far too. Probably farther than we did before, which I enjoyed because I kind of got a sense of the actual area I'm flying in. Like we flew over a train track today, and my instructor, he kept saying, follow the train track, and I'm looking for the train track. I'm like, what train track, man? I'm looking for the rails. Like we're up at 3,000. I'm looking for the rails. And he said, you don't see the train track right in front of you? And it's this big, like, industrial train track plant. And I'm like, oh, you were talking about that the whole time? Yeah, I had that in my vision. But, just getting used to some of the reference points out there. Like I said, the train track, Stone Mountain is not too far. Because he was like, hey, take me back home. Take me back to the airport. And I'm thinking to myself, well, how do I get back? I know we're out here, but, I'm not really 100%, ready with the GPS. But, just getting those reference points, knowing your surroundings, the approach was fun. I don't want to really call it an approach, but, I guess it was an approach. Visual, I was on the radio with the air traffic control pretty much the entire time. Like I said, I think my time playing flight simulator, going on bat sim, if you're a young pilot and you're trying to get better at your communication, you can practice it in your head or, listen to the radios on liveatc.net. But I definitely do think that, bat sim, I have to, give them 100% credit. That network, give them credit for how I'm able to talk to air traffic control so well, like seamlessly. I don't really have stutters or confusion or having them have to repeat things. It is hard though, because you're trying to relay a bunch of information that they're saying to you, but just communicating with them, doing that approach was fun, following the train tracks, and then I could kind of see the runway when it started that turn. And it was definitely different. Last time we were in the pattern, and just being used to the pattern routine. Okay, flaps at this speed, or next notch to flaps when we were turning on the base, and then final flaps on final. Just knowing that it was different on the approach. We don't have to do it in that order. You can keep that airspeed, and then drop flaps when you're getting closer. So I definitely enjoyed just being out there today. I think, like I said, it's been a while since I've been out there. And, I think you just have to have patience in this, as well as a lot of things in your life. But, just having patience, like knowing that it's going to be a long grind, and just enjoying it, just enjoying getting this private pilot's license. Even my student license, I finally got that the other week, or the other day. And that finally came in the mail, and, I did the application for that in June, and it just is now coming in the mail. But just having patience with that, having patience with this whole process, having patience with anything else you're trying to achieve or hoping to obtain, or any goal you have, anything, it's probably going to have patience. That's definitely something I've learned. But still excited about the journey, still looking forward to everything. I don't know when I'll go back next, maybe next week, but I'm not sure yet. But yeah, like I said, today was good. I'll probably get back to the King schools. I'm almost done with that. So I'll probably try to finish that in the next week or two, and start those practice tests so I can get the written done. I just want to check all the boxes. So written, and get that done. Solo can get that done. That'll be good, and keep going from there. But I don't know what, like I said, I don't know where I'll be next week, but if I'm in the air, I'll try to make another video. If not, then we'll see. But, anyways, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. Looking at the clock, 10 minutes. And I'm on the new setup now. I got my computer set up, so I got the high quality microphone, the camera. I got the OBS going, so, hopefully these videos will be a lot more entertaining for you guys. But yeah, I just want to say thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in, and if you can, hit the like button if you want, subscribe if you want. If you have any comments, leave them down there. Any questions about anything, any questions about flying, if you're interested, just leave those down there, and I'll respond and try to get to those. So I'm gonna say peace out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.